There's something I've observed about many believers, and it bothers me a lot. It goes like this. A believer goes to church. She is told to pray to God for anything. She prays as instructed, but nothing happens. She develops many questions in her mind, but never gets an answer to any of them. She ends up living a defeated life despite being prayerful. This is the type of believer who believes in the power of prayer, but has no result to show for it. I am here to share a simple lesson with you that will change that narrative forever. Never again will you throw punches in the air, as 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 26 says. I was in the same predicament for years, but the Lord had mercy on me and taught me the lesson I am about to teach you. Since I learned that lesson, my prayers became sharper than a double-edged sword. They deliver results faster than how Elijah outran Ahab's chariot. The good thing is that the lesson is super simple to learn. You can learn it today, implement it, and start seeing results today. Even if you just got born again, trust me, this lesson will work for you. Before I share the lesson, let me tell you a little story so that you understand the true power of this lesson. Not long ago, I found myself in a sticky situation. I was staying in a friend's house, but I desired to have my own place. Being a believer, I decided to pray to God to have a place of my own. This is how I prayed. Lord, I need a house. Please provide one for me. After making that prayer in understanding, I would pray in tongues. I expected God to show me a vision, a dream, or any type of leading that would help me get my own place, but I got nothing. Following the teachings of Jesus in the book of Luke chapter 18 verse 1, I kept praying the same prayer for 3 months. After 3 months, I got frustrated because nothing was happening. At the same time, anger was building within me. I couldn't understand why God can't deliver something simple like giving me a place of my own to stay. But deep down, I knew there was something that I was missing, though I couldn't tell what it was. I altered my prayer from Lord, I need a house to Lord, teach me how to get a house. I would ask God to teach me how to get my own place, then I would pray in tongues. This went on for weeks, but there was total silence from God. God's silence puzzled me and annoyed me at the same time. Why can't God, who spoke the whole creation into being, give me a simple answer? I asked myself. It is either I have a hearing problem or God has a speaking problem, I concluded. But because I knew God cannot have a problem, I knew definitely the problem was on me. But how do I figure it out? That became my main challenge for the days that followed. Little did I know, I was on the brink of uncovering a secret that will propel my prayer life to a whole new level. One evening, I casually got a YouTube recommendation of someone showcasing rental houses. Because I was interested in renting a house, I clicked to watch. Shortly after I started watching the video, I scrolled down to see what people were saying in the comments. Most comments were in the line of, beautiful apartment, I'll move there. Then a question popped up in my mind. Augustine, with all your dedication to God, why can't you move into that apartment? All of a sudden, I got so angry that people of the world talk so confidently of moving to a new house, yet I was very prayerful and I was begging God to move into a new house. So be it, I'll move into that house by all means, I said to myself. The following day, I went to see the houses and booked one of the rooms. Then I came back and told God, I have booked a room that I want to rent. Give me money for it. A week later, I got some money, though it wasn't sufficient to pay for the room. I topped up the money with a loan and moved into the room. When I got in the new house, I told God, thank you for enabling me to get a new house, but I have a debt I need to pay. Before the end of that month, God provided enough money for me to clear that debt and pay rent for the following month. And that is when I learned the important prayer lesson I am about to tell you. You see, God desires us to show faith in Him. According to Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6, He wants us to act and take steps trusting that He will sustain us. When I was busy praying for a house, I was never taking any steps. To God, my prayer was an excuse rather than a request. Let me explain. A soldier has no control over how fierce a battle gets. He only has control over how fiercely he can fight. If he asks for assistance because the battle is fierce, his commanding officer will send help. But if he refuses to go to battle because the battle is fierce, his commanding officer will throw him out of the army. In my case, going out to book a room was the battle I was never willing to go to. All I did was sit in my friend's house and beg God to make the battle easier. Eventually, when I embraced taking the risk to go to battle, the Lord gave me a scripture, Psalms chapter 1 verse 3. He explained to me that my decision to move into the new house triggered the law in the book of Psalms chapter 1 verse 3. Because I had fulfilled the requirements in verse 1 and 2, all I needed to do was to embark on any project and God will make sure it prospers. But God was never going to choose that project for me. This was revolutionary in my prayer life. Therefore, anytime you pray to God and there is a prolonged silence, start implementing what you can to achieve what you want. Your step of faith will move God and He will show up to make sure you are not put to shame. God bless you.